session. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Yoon Kim. Nice to meet you. I will be doing these type of series Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. My goal is to help you understand what it takes to get to your first 100K within your time in the military. For those of you, right, who are meeting me for the first time, I was able to get to $100,000 within my first 5 years. My second year, in the sixth year in the military, I was able to hit 200K. So my goal, my purpose of these videos is to share with you how it's possible and exactly the nitty-gritty of exactly what I did. That's what my whole YouTube channel is about. So if you are interested in that, I would highly suggest you subscribe, press that notification icon to consume all the content that I will be putting out. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below, as well as hashtag replay comment section if you are watching the replay. So this session isn't anything too crazy. It's just me hanging out, working, you coming along, asking question as it comes. So let's hang out. So hopefully everybody's having a pretty good today's Friday, right? It's Friday, 6 p.m. Turn some music on here.
$10K per month, but your actions do not show that. That's why. That's why some people can have this.
Martin, yeah, today it's extremely hot today. I'm on the second floor where my office is. It's the second floor of the house. The first floor is where the air conditioning is. The second floor is where the little duct is, like where the air comes out from the top. And then I have a ceiling fan here. But yeah, today it is pretty hot. Let's see if I can make the ceiling fan. Kick it up to the highest setting possible because it is getting pretty hot. All right, it should be good. Anything new going on today? I mean, no central air conditioning in there. So the air conditioning. These houses are built in the 1940s. The government military housing here, and so the air conditioning system obviously at that time was like state of the art, but right now it's not the best thing in the world. So yeah, the air conditioning is there on the first floor but not on the second floor. So since you asked, let's just check my stock market portfolio real quick, as well as my crypto wallet. So crypto wallet, I'm at 30K, 29K, 29.4K. Not bad. I mean, the crypto market's down, but I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I'm a long-term investor, right? I'm just going to hold for positions for long term. My stock market portfolio is down 468. Facebook, tattooed chef Tesla. So it's a pretty low-flying day in the market. Bully the Blind Girl, thank you. It's this music that I'm listening to. It's just like a background music, right? Just so it's not like purely quiet. Can you make some profits? Profit money starting out with just few $100s. So my personal recommendation, right? If you have a few $100s starting out in the investing space, I actually have a video that I made for another community. Let me see if I can share that with you here. So Martin, later on, watch that Loom video that I made. It's for another like investment community that I kind of like add value on. It's like a side thing that I do just for fun. It goes in depth into like where to begin as like an investor. And to, that's a full video, but to summarize it, right? Like if you have a few $100 starting out investing in the stock market, the thing that you want to do at the end of the day is to understand the companies at a high level, like the company you are investing into. Because the problem that a lot of people have, that a lot of people aren't doing, is they're not understanding exactly what they are investing into, and just investing based on some familiarity, right? So for example, like Coca-Cola, for example. I was browsing through. So, for example, I was reading through Coca-Cola's 10K report not too long ago. Just the first 20 pages, highlighting some stuff. Like, if you think about Coca-Cola, right? So, just to catch everybody up, the question was like, if I had a few $100, right, and I invested in the stock market, can I make some money? And so you don't want to focus, you don't want to have that kind of mentality. The mentality that you want to have is you are putting your money, right, into a business, right? And you want to understand the business at a very high level, right? You don't want to invest into a company just because you've read some articles or just because you grew up with the product, right? That's the wrong way to invest. So for example, like Coca-Cola here, right? You want to understand like how Coca-Cola makes, sells, distributes their products. How do they make money, right? Coca-Cola's business model is very similar to Amazon's delivery model, right? Amazon's delivery model is they hire contracted businesses, right, to deliver products for them, right? Similarly, Coca-Cola, right, they have like different categories of drinks they sell. They don't make it themselves. Sometimes they will, depending on if the company, the factory is at a very bad shape. But for the most part, they'll contract it out, right? So they're not liable, and that contracted company is responsible for a certain region. And then right, that company makes and distributes the Coca-Cola brand material and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually a fascinating, I didn't realize like that's exactly what they did, but it's Coca-Cola and Amazon's delivery service. Like it's exactly almost the same business model as to what they do. And so like you want to be the 10Ks, the 10Qs participating in the conference calls. To understand like the mindset of a business owner, and then you invest into companies. Because that's the only way where, depending on what happens with the company, up, down, good, bad, you have the confidence to hold the company for a long period of time, because you understand that this business is going to grow into a massive company in the long term. And so, yeah, that's, I don't know if that, I don't know if I was going on a rant, but that's at least how I view it. That's kind of the mindset that my community, long-term investment community, subscribe to. Typically, the people that I see that are losing money are people who are focused on the short term. Like, they're going to buy this stock at this price and exit at this price, and they don't even know who the CEO of that company is. They don't know anything about that business. They don't know. They can't tell me exactly how they make their money, and it's just like what are you actually invested into? It's like, oh, this price, the 52-week high is this, 2-week low is this, and I want to buy it here and sell it there. It's like how can you be sure that it's going to go back up there? Right? Oh, they're just going to sell more. For example, like Apple, they're going to sell more phones. It's like no, like you have to understand, right, what the company actually does. What's been the most profit you ever made in a market in a single day? Zero. I've never day traded in a single day. So I will sometimes do swing trading. Very, very rarely, like when I do see a clear opportunity, like when I'm like 100% certain, like buy a specific company, hold it for about 4 or 5 months, and then sell it. So I did that with Tesla a few times, and in total, I think I probably made right about 20 grand, across like a year span of just kind of swinging in that position. But yeah, playing for the long game. It's definitely right. All right. Is swing trading a good way to make some fast, somewhat safe money? Not always. If you want to swing trade, right, to make some like extra cash on the side, like number one, like you should be, right, you should still go through this process of in the company at a very high level. And then after that, right, maybe like 10% of your money is something that you should be just swing trading. Like for me, like 80% to like 90% of my money is always long-term invested into companies or projects in the case of cryptocurrency, for the long play. So that's really all I care about. What was the process of renting a room in a house like? Was it a fast process? Yeah, it was Craigslist, right? The guy in the house, he said, all right, just Venmo me, this amount of money each and every single month, and that's kind of it. So yeah, it wasn't too hard. I find many listings on Craigslist and are kind of questionable and shady. Yeah, there are definitely some, but luckily I was able to find a pretty good one. At the same time, I don't keep a lot of like materialistic things. Like I'm very light. Like I live my life in like 4 or 5 briefcases, and that's really it, right? So, um, yeah. And good evening. Why did you rent a room from Craigslist as opposed to with a coworker or friend? I mean, that's when I first came to Maryland. Like I transferred from being on a ship to Maryland, and then I didn't really know anybody, right? So I was quarantined in a hotel room, and I had a place to live, and I could have rented an apartment for sure, but they really charged a whole lot of money to live in this area, and so I didn't really mind. Um, like the worst in my mind of renting a room is like I'm not gonna have good roommates, right? And you know, at the end of the day, it didn't really bother me too much because I've lived on the ship, right? And then when you're in the ship, like it gets a lot worse living in a ship with like a couple thousands of people than you know in a room renting a house like you know 4 or 5 people that maybe if they want to party on the weekends they do on the weekends. Um, so like I knew that because of the experience from the military, like it wasn't gonna get any worse than what I've already been through. So I didn't mind it at all. And so I didn't really have coworkers and friends at the time when I first came here, right? So yeah, I was trying to find a way to make at least extra $500 net online part time. Have any advice? Traveling dude, my recent video that I just posted today is actually it talks all about that. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll post it up here. Um, Maybe that's why you asked the question. Um, but yeah, like if you want to make extra $500, you know, a month, right? Getting a job, right? By all means, you definitely could. $500 online. There's many different avenues, right? You could either freelance, right? Develop some sort of skill, like whether it's if you want to learn how to edit photos, right? You could go to YouTube, learn how to edit photos all you want, and then you start freelancing your skills, right? In the beginning, it's going to be super hard to make a lot of money, right? Because there's so many people who can edit skills, Photoshop, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe you learn how to edit videos. Maybe you learn how to do, you know, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, creating different charts, different graphs for companies. And so there's many opportunities that way for you to get hired. One of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm utilizing Facebook's organic growth into many different communities and so for example, I mean, I can't really share with you my screen. If you go to like Facebook groups, right, you could figure out like you could search for groups only, right? Like online, I don't know, like copywriting groups or online like real estate groups, you know, virtual assistant groups. You know, like there's so many opportunities out there. Like you may have never thought about like Facebook groups, right? But that's like a huge thing that's growing right now. Like that's very organic, and you can make a lot of money that way. Like that's really what I'm focusing right now on is Facebook organic growth, marketing to people within Facebook and converting it into sales. So yeah, or if you want to learn sales, right, you can learn sales like the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. He's a sales guy, right? He's not like a stock market guy. He's a sales guy, and he has a YouTube channel, the Wolf of Wall Street, right, on YouTube. So, do you ever get a sense of dread looking at your portfolio? I'm always scared because I might see a lot of red numbers and negative percentages. No, like last year, right, when the market really crashed, like 2020, and like March, April, May, and June, like there was a day where I lost like $17,000. Actually, my team members are messaging me trying to. I don't know if I can turn off. If can you guys hear like the little dings that team members are sending me through Slack? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but let me know if you are. Okay. Dang. All right. So let me. Kind of too late to fix that, but next time I'll make sure to turn off the notifications because that's through Slack, and then sometimes my team will message stuff back and forth. Yeah, so Bully the Blind Girl last year, right? Like there was a day where I lost like 17 grand, like 16 grand, like 10 grand, like back to back because the market was going down. And I didn't mind it at all because I knew for a fact that the companies are great companies, right? The market is going to be the market, right? It's going to go up and down. There's nothing much you can do to control it, right? Think about investing in a stock market like this, right? If a hurricane is coming my way, right? Recently, Hurricane Elsa came through my way. Like, there's nothing I can do, right? The only thing that I can do is best prepare for the hurricane, right? By having supply, by being in a sheltered place, right? That sheltered place is another word for a company in the stock market, and supply is another word for just cash, having cash ready to deploy. And so if a hurricane's coming your way, right? For example, the macroeconomic factors of COVID-19 and all the other stuff, there's nothing you can do, right? It's going to come, and then it's going to decrease all the values of the companies because everybody's selling to pull out, to have cash, to have a lot of supply, and then that's when you go in. Like I was excited last year. Like I knew this was the opportunity for me to get to $250,000. Like I was with my friend. I told him like I was at 150K, like 140K, right? And I was like, dude, like this is the opportunity for me to get to $250,000 if I play this right. And unfortunately, I ended up buying a house for my parents, so I wasn't able to play it right. But at the same time, I'm not too upset that I did that. At the same time, I was able to start a business, make a lot of money, and recover that way. But yeah, I mean, when you have supply, like when you are ready for that, like you should be super excited for the red days. Like if the market dropped like 50% tomorrow, like if my portfolio went down like by 20%, 30%, 50% tomorrow, like I'll be super excited because I know my companies are no matter what going to survive through different macroeconomic hardships, and I'm just going to buy more. That's the importance of understanding companies at a high level, doing your research, printing out different reports, right, and reading through it all day, every single day. Like that's what gives you the confidence. Let me see if I can. Well, I can't end this Zoom, end this live to get into that and turn it off. But yeah, what are you currently reading? Currently, I have Extreme Ownership by Will Jocko and Leif Babin. Jocko Willink. How many roommates at the house did you have? I had one homeowner and the one other roommate, so 2 people in total. Did the homeowner live there too? Yeah. Yes. Yes, we hear the little dings. Yes. Yeah, I'd rather sales part-time. I have to find the right informative resources to do it, I guess. Do you sell products online or over the phone or both? Both. From the other team members. Sales is a lot difficult than you might actually think, because obviously with sales, there's 2 things. There's the low ticket sales and there's high ticket sales. I was part of the high ticket closing HTC community, and so I worked with Jeremy from Financial Education. He has a whole YouTube channel about investing in the stock market. I'm separating from the company for me to pursue other projects. But some of his packages ranged from a minimum of like $2,000 to like $20,000, and then I sell products, help people understand the value, and help them explain and guide through it. So as of right now, there's two games that I'm playing. One is in a mobile game on my phone. I like to play like role playing games, like 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 strategic games type stuff. Growing like a character for a long period of time. So David, I'm playing a game called Epic 7, and then sometimes every now and then I'll play like League of Legends, like a strategy game for like a team player. Like I like team playing type of games. What kind of products or services do you sell, Yoon? Currently, I don't sell anything. If I was to sell anything, like I could, like I would market people with at least like 100K, 200K, 300K in the market that's their net worth, and then I would coach them for an hour and then charge them $1,000, and then give them like a bunch of high level information that I've been taught, right? Because over the last couple of years, I've spent, in terms of investing in the stock market, I've spent right about 10K in terms of taking courses, coaching, and etc., and applying that to my life. And so I have the justification and I have the enough value to be able to, change a lot of people on how they invest. So I would charge them $1,000 for an hour for a virtual coaching on investing in the stock market. But I don't really do that right now. So my goal right now is to grow this channel out to 100,000 subscribers and eventually to 500,000, 1 million subscribers. But really at the 100,000 subscriber mark, I'll start paying companies to really work with me to develop courses, and then I'll sell the courses for $100. And the $100 course, it's going to be such a over deliver, and the value and the cost of that entry is so low. Like $100 is nothing compared to the amount of value that I'm going to be putting into the course. In the long run, that's exactly what I want to do, right? Grow my audience, sell courses, the same amount of money. So that's what I'm going to do later on. Doing sales is the way to go. The money can be there to make. Because the crazy real estate market, did your parents' home value went up, and how much? Yeah, we got it at a pretty good time. We bought the house. This was like when the market was starting to get hot, and we just got purely lucky with the timing of it. And then we bought the house. The price inflated a little bit, right? The house actual value, like brand new, when it was built back in like 2009, was only like 300K. And if the market like didn't start going crazy, we could have bought the house maybe at like 310, 320. But because of the market that was inflating at the time, we bought it at 330K. Right now, if we were to sell the house in the market, we would get 366K according to Zillow, and that's kind of what we were basing it off anyway. So yeah, we would, if we were to sell the house right now, get extra 30K. But I mean, obviously, when the market dies down, that's just going to disappear. So we got, from my understanding, from my research, we got fair value for the house. Because even after the crash, like we still got fair value for the house. So, did you fully buy your parents a house in Pennsylvania, or did you both partially contribute financially to buying it? So we put a $100,000 down payment, right? So I put a $97,000 of my own money. Basically, how that worked out was right about $89,000 was put towards the down payment, and I gave my parents right about a 10 grand for them to buy the furniture and stuff. And then my parents put up, I believe, like 15 or 20 grand. I forgot exactly what, but we put in about 100K down payment, and then they had some money for some safety net, and then I gave them 10 grand for the furniture, so they were able to do a pretty good spending spree. So we did a little co-op of it. Hope everybody's doing well here on Friday. It is 6:30, right? Thanks for joining me here. if you could, right, press the like button. It would help me out tremendously, boost the algorithm for this video. Thank you for stopping by and asking questions. Did you say you're from Pennsylvania, Yoon? Which part? Philly? Yeah, Philly. Were you born in South Korea or in Pennsylvania? I was born in South Korea, came to the United States in 2001. And then I was in the outer edges of Philadelphia all my life. Muhammad Hugo. Inzucio. How was everybody's weekend so far? What's everybody's plan for this weekend? For those of you who are wondering, like what I'm doing, I'm just doing some work real quick because this is a work in live, right? Sonia. Do you like living and working in the South, Maryland, or do you prefer to live and work in North? Why or why not? I mean, obviously, if I was to be with my parents, that's the best case scenario. I would rather be with my parents. But as of right now, I don't really mind the independence that I have. At the same time, like I'm working like 100 hours a week. So even if I was in Pennsylvania, I wouldn't be able to do a whole lot much with my parents. I mean, obviously, besides maybe eating dinner or going out to do stuff on the weekend. But yeah, I plan to work this weekend as usual, 7 days a week between 2 jobs. But I get good PTO, part-time. What does PTO stand for? And other benefits from both jobs. It's good. Paid time off. Oh, that's good. I finished renovating my house. I'm about to put it on the market. So, David, do you do like renovations, like buying and selling houses, or is it just like a one-time thing? If you do, you should have a YouTube channel about it. one-time thing. I finished my army contract. Now I'm moving back home to Cali. Okay, David, how long was your service in the army? Next week I'll be going to APA, Wyoming, VW, Ohio, Kentucky, VW State. Okay, West Virginia. Oh, just a road trip getaway with a lady friend at a 5-star hotel. Fancy. Have you traveled much domestically, Yoon? Nope. I've been all 50 states in the US. Do you plan on getting married and having kids in the next 5 years from now? For sure. One of the things that I'll probably do is just like maybe like rent a van or buy a little van. Don't do anything crazy. Like I'm not gonna do like a full like a sprinter van type of life, van life. But definitely like get a bed, get a cooler, and just do like a road trip across the US for maybe like 3 months or something like that. That's probably something that I'll be interested in doing. So yeah.
The same sales training, they can have the same scripts, and some can make money and some can't.
Herrera, what's up, dude? Do you plan on getting? Yeah, all right. Working out? No. I've been getting fat. Is definitely what I've been doing. Came into military 175. Now I'm 220. So definitely putting on weight, not in the best way. My uniforms are shrinking. The 3.5 years now, I am in the inactive reserves. Are you going to do another reenlistment? Nope. No, this is it. August 2023 is my final month in the military. After that, I'm done. When do you plan to visit South Korea again? Over a year from now? It's possible. It depends on when my parents want to go. I'm not going to go there by myself. So it could be like a year. I mean, next year I might go to Disney World with my parents because they've never been. Obviously I've been there with my girlfriend. So it may be like 2 years from now, realistically, for me to go to Korea. Is it easy for Americans to want to move and retire in South Korea? No, it's not going to be easy at all. To live in South Korea, it's pretty hard. Do you want to gain more weight, Yoon, or maintain your weight now? Oh, I need to lose weight. I'm gonna be back in the back below 200s. Really, that's where I want to be at. You look good. Thanks, man. How did you start investing, Herrera? It's good. Good, yeah. Follow the guy that I showed you. I don't know if you continue to follow him, but that's the guy that you should be following for a long period of time. Career, I know your channel and career will pop after your service. David, I'm not gonna wait after my service. Recently, not too long ago, I invested $3,000 into a coaching program from Sean Cannell from Think Media, and that's really where I got a lot of my directions to move forward. And so, rest of the year is me trying to figure out my groove. Next year is me just taking massive action and doubling, tripling down. Um, and yeah, next year, ended the year goal is to get to 100K subscribers. Is kind of where I want to be at, and where I feel like it makes sense for me to be at. So we'll see. David, along the way, right, just keep recommending me content to fuel more, ideas into my mind, so I understand what to do. How long have you and the girlfriend been together? It's been around about 4 years. How did you meet? We met online. Is it hard for long distance from your experience? It is definitely hard. At the same time, she's very patient. I'm very patient, and I'm not the type of guy to party on the weekends, or be motivated by females and stuff. So our relationship is unique, and it's great in a way in that sense, because my main focus is growing my wealth. So everything else is just kind of secondary. Any advice for those who love modifying cars, start a YouTube channel, but also want to save money while they are in the military? You could. I mean, there's multiple different ways. Like a quick brainstorm, right? Is number one, review car modifying on YouTube, right, to make some extra cash, or make a whole YouTube series where you find the cheapest car modifying parts and make YouTube videos out of it. Eventually, because that's going to pay for the products of the modifications itself. Or don't do any modification and just create online content reviewing the different prices on different websites, and educating people, if that's your field of interest. So there's many different things you could do, like join different Facebook groups, and interact and build your network that way. There's many things that you could do. Did you ever go to Brazil after cruise? Yeah, I did after deployment, 2020 February, for about 3 or 4 weeks. But I wasn't able to go this year, obviously, because of the pandemic. But I am trying to go maybe later on this year, maybe September, October timeframe. I liked Japan and China. It's almost impossible for Americans to get Chinese citizenship. The US seems to be getting more violent, corrupt, and much biased. Political correctness, just want to say it is. Yeah, long distance relationships can be hard. I mean, some of them. I hope it works out for you guys. How often do you guys see each other in person? Maybe a couple times a year, right? Maybe at best, we want to try at best 30 days of the year. Some year, and then for New Year's, Christmas or New Year's is kind of what we try to aim for. But yep. All right. Which website did you guys meet at online dating? We used a website called OkCupid. How was your bootcamp experience? Can you talk a bit about how that was for you? Specifically, what did you want to know? Because in general, obviously, it was all right. Like I had the right perspective. Like I enjoyed the process. That was very enjoyable for me. Um, 2 months, in my opinion, is not really enough for Navy boot camp. I feel like it should be like 3 months. But towards the end, like we ran out of things to do because in boot camp, obviously in the beginning, right, they process your paperwork, put your application, start to mold you as a military member. And then like the whole purpose of boot camp is towards the end of the boot camp, right, the graduation ceremony. Like that's like what it's really all building up to is that graduation ceremony, for everybody to kind of march together and be in formation, sound off for the whole ceremony that you see at the end. Um, so yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a pure like military experience. Like I think like the Army and the Marines are alike, but it was a very like a casual thing that you could kind of do. So, which country would you consider moving to? I mean, I would move to Brazil just to. It depends. I mean, probably back to South Korea, but yeah. Do you ever do food delivery? Nope. There's good money in doing that too. I mean, yeah, but like I said, like in my video that I just posted today, right? Which is this video. Let me make sure. Let me click on it. Yeah. So food delivery is great, right? Don't get me wrong. But like I said, it's not the most scalable thing. Like your income, it's not scalable. Unless you start like hiring other people to deliver foods for you and stuff. But then again, like that's what the Grubhub and all that company is about, right? Like you can't scale your income that way, and that skill isn't like a translatable skill. It's not something that you can continue to carry on. It's a good thing that you did for a moment in your life to make some extra cash if you needed it, but obviously it's not something that you can translate into other areas of your life, right? Like you can't put on like the DoorDash or Grubhub on your resume, and it's not going to really impress anybody if you want to get a job or a career, right? But if you have your own business or YouTube following, freelance, have a skill in Photoshop or video editing or Microsoft Excel, Word document, whatever the case may be, like that's more valuable on a resume or as a life skill compared to food delivery. Not like I said, not there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, you want to spend time developing skills. Zer Kelvin, winners, hi Yoon, what's up? Appreciate your content, much love. Thank you for your kind words. Kelvin, if you could tell me what about my content, like what, when you think about my videos, like what's the type of content that sticks out to you in your mind? Is it like business content, investing content, finance content? What type of content is it? I might move to either Alaska or Hawaii after I retire in just over 2 years. It seems we'll be both leaving our jobs in 2023. Yep. When is your last day and month in the Navy? I don't know when my last day is, but my last month is August 2023. What rank are you, E5 or E6? I am a E5. I'm looking into investing. I currently have 2K, but don't know where to start. What are your thoughts? You should start. I'll share with you this video that I made for another community.
Put me in blank characters.
Let me see.
Everybody, good night.
All right, watch this video. Later on, whether you want to watch it now or later on, in about 10 minutes, I will be closing out this live. So preferably later on, because that video is about 10 minutes. I made that for another community, but when you are at that beginning stage of investing, what I subscribe to is long-term investing, right? Buying and holding companies for years to come. So you want to understand companies at a very high level by, knowing who the CEO is, knowing the company culture, understanding the business model at a high level as if you owned the business, right? So that's what you would want to do. That video goes a little bit more in depth into that. So that's basically what I would recommend you start to get into that mindset of a long-term investor. Tomaski, what's up, dude? Yoon, what all have you heard about the Submarine Force since you've been in? I've seen the submarines, right? I've worked next to it in the shipyards. The Marines are always there, kind of guarding it. I have some submarine friends. They're not. I mean, they don't seem to mind the experience. Like there are some females, there are some males, depending on what gender you are. But for the most part, seems like it is what it is. It does get a little bit difficult when you go on deployments. But yeah, once you reach 8-year mark, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of information regarding subs. But when I general conversations that I have with my friends that are in the subs, it's just like any other thing really from what they say. I mean, the only thing is it's a lot more intense in terms of like training because you have a lot smaller crew. Each mistake in a sub, is more amplified. It's more severe compared to a mistake that you could make on a ship, because obviously you're underground, underwater. So once you reach 8-year mark, do you sometimes think that if you just stay another 12 years, that you could retire with a nice military pension, benefits, and you may be a millionaire by then? I mean, obviously, regardless whether I stay in the military or not, I'm going to be a millionaire. But to me, it's not worth staying in 12 years away from my family. That's kind of my main goal. Like I said, financially, I'm going to be fine either way. Like I'm going to make probably a lot more money being outside of the military, running my own business. Like I said, like, my best month was my sales business. It was like 9.5 grand. The military pays me right about 5 grand every single month. And that was me doing full-time military and running a business, right? So imagine if I can do, double the amount of time running my business, I'd be able to easily do 10K consistent each and every single month. So, yeah, I'm not worried about money or anything like that too much. And, I have the military. I mean, you might think it's like the greatest thing for the average person, the average Joe, to not have a career and have a career path. It is a good thing. But for me, right, I'm not trying to settle for average. I'm trying to be, above average so I can, live the type of lifestyle that I want to live, having $10 million at a minimum, living life comfortably, not having to worry about finances, having the freedom to do kind of whatever I want. It's kind of what I am trying to pursue, not making sacrifices, not having to budget or anything like that, just being able to do what I want to do. Find you a couple weeks ago, they've been trying to catch up on your Navy videos. I leave beginning of August as a CTN. CTN, something cryptologist, right? CTN Navy. Crypto logic technician. CTN performs host of duties associated with computer operations across global networks according to the US Navy. Okay, it's cool. Definitely like CTs, I have noticed like they have a pretty good culture within their CT, the intel community has a pretty good culture within their military structure. So I did notice that. I can't believe I'm watching your videos and chatting on and off over the last few years. The times go by fast. Before your contract ends, maybe we could meet in person sometimes. I'm in Maryland too. Definitely, if the stars align, right, for sure. Do you know any others you went in the Navy with that plan to do a minimum of 20 years and retire, yeah, there are definitely a lot of people that want to do 20 years. Alexander, what's up, dude? Or women? Can't tell by the picture. That's great mindset. You need people like that to surround yourself with to reach success, aim high or go higher. For sure, like I'm a man. Tomasaki, and that's absolutely true. Like the people that I work with in my inner circle when I run my business, like my closest social circle, everybody is six figures. It's not because like we discriminated against people who don't have six figures. It's just like that's just how it ended up to be. Like my assistants, like they have six figures in the stock market. Like, you know, I come from a stock market investing community. And so the people that I work with or do business with are people that are just normally, you know, they have the right mindset. They are coachable, teachable. They are successful by themselves. Like I have some guys that I work with that are 21 and have six figures, right? There's another guy that I have, like they're maybe like 18 with six figures, right? So the better, you know, the higher the network you surround yourself with, it's definitely true. Your income, your, you know, the mindset and everything like that changes, right? Like people who hang out with me, like at a very close level, they make a lot of money. Like if you guys like just consume a lot of my content, like you guys are gonna make a lot of money. Like it's just like bottom line, that's just literally how it works. Like if you and I like hung out every single day and I talked about investing in the stock market, and you are going to become a better investor, like at the end of the day, and eventually you're going to get to 100 grand through investing in the stock market, just by hanging out with me, understanding exactly what to do, having the, you know, the right mindset, and that's just kind of how it works. So your network is definitely important. Do you think you'll ever make chief? No. Within my time, like I'm gonna get out in 2 years. The best that I could do is a first class. So as of right now, being a chief is impossible. Any interest in becoming an officer? I used to, but not anymore. I'm just going to do my time and get out. Because if I do pick up officer, I have to obligate like a minimum of 6 years extra. And that's not what I want to do. Hopefully when I am in, I find some successful people. I don't want to do sales work myself, rather IT, CT, work a paying job when I get out. Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely, like, for example, like I'm in a base, right? I'm a supply guy, right? I track aviation supply. By the way, if you guys do me a huge favor, press the like button on this video. It would help me out tremendously. So one of the things that I'm doing, right, you could do is, you know, I'm in Maryland working on an aviation base, you know, helping aviation commands, right? I'm an aviation supply guy. If I decide to get out right now, get a job here, probably starting right about 70 grand a year, 80 grand a year. Depending on the job, maybe like, you know, 90 grand a year. If I get really, really lucky, it's kind of the job that I could probably get. And that could be the very well case that you could get, you know, when you get out, right? You go to like a military installation, finish out your time, become an IT type of guy over there, CT type of guy over there, and have a secure job. Another nice productive chat. Have a good rest of your day, Yoon. Martin, thank you. All right, guys, so I'm going to be closing it out here. I said I do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So thank you for hanging out with me today. Saturday, I will probably do it. You know, I will always send out reminders. So always look out for that. Press that bell notification icon. If you have any video recommendation, I would highly appreciate it. Leave it in the comment section down below. And so have a good rest of your night, guys. See ya.